transferred? What is doing the touching? What is doing the affecting? Like how could Plotinus, from so far away in time and in space, seem to have gotten you at your core?
Yeah, no, exactly. I can't help thinking of W.E.B. Du Bois and Souls of Black Folk, and also the disillusionment that came after he wrote that, because he was expecting that civil rights would come almost immediately, and it didn't. And there, in the Souls of Black Folk, he talks about being able to walk and talk with the souls of the long dead, but they're living voices inside us. And so often in life, we're lonely. We feel like with Empedocles, I wept and I wailed when I saw the unfamiliar shore. We were born into a particular body, which has all its own particular flaws. It's got to die, etc. Me in a boys' school in England, away in a boys' school in England, wanting to talk to girls but never knowing how to do it. Being open to the whole range of experience altogether. So in my early youth, I found that I was much happier in the library, on my own, so to speak, but reading the great classics, which spoke to me, that gave me, instead of the rigorous mononuclear, monolinear, monoracial England of my youth, they gave me a much wider range. So I loved the Russian pendulum at first. Reading Tolstoy and Dostoevsky when I was 13 or 14 gave me hope. And if I'd been able to read the Upanishads there, I wouldn't believe that I could read such things and that I hadn't been taught them. For me, something like the most important, or Plotinus or whatever. So those long dead voices are no longer dead. And when Socrates in the Crito, when he puts the laws, when he gives voices to the laws and the laws speak, it's the proper intersubjective way. Of course, we have to challenge the laws and everything about us. That's exactly what Plato says in the Phaedrus. We have to, with a divine interlocutor, with ourselves and with our human interlocutors, we have to challenge everything that we've been given. But that's the dialogue and the conversation that we are entrusted with, and the privilege to which the real privilege to which we've been given, which is not one particular gender, but is a range of different possibilities that we can actually inhabit in many, many different ways, so that we're open to those things. Process of transformation, that's living for me, and it's imbued the whole of my existence. There's a wonderful Russian joke that it's the collective farm, that they're taking a visit around the collective farm, and they say, there was a hole in the ground, and now look at it, it's a school, and there was a rubbish dump, and now it's a nursery. And 25 years ago, you see that man walking across there? He's the biggest idiot in the village. He was the biggest idiot in the village, and now he's the director of the collective farm. And when I look at someone like Socrates, and we revere Socrates, and when we look at ourselves and our own particular journeys, we know that we come from nothing, and that we're going to nothing, and that we're lucky to have what we've been given in like Marcus Aurelius in the first book of Meditations. And so I think the real privilege is the idea that we have been given these beautiful voices that live not only inside us, but resonate with those that we love, and that we can actually in some sort of way pass on to those that come after us, whom we also love, but in different ways, not exactly as we are right now, but in the great world of the spirit. In the level of body, we're separated. And body is kind of funny in a certain way. Bodies get in the way of bodies. And actually it's the same with conversation. When we don't have a mode of speaking, conversation becomes stilted and dead. But there's a kind of inner conversation, which is not just our own inner conversation, it's the inner conversation with people that we love, which is living, alive, and rejuvenating, and that never dies, I think. And I think there's a beautiful Russian poem that says, I can't quote it, but it says, the act of kindness is everything. We know all about killing each other, wanting to get over the top of somebody else to get ahead or whatever. But the act of kindness, like a light from Plato's seventh letter, actually comes, I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. I'm forgetting who I'm talking about here. It's the ray of light that comes from, I'm thinking it's the Pythia node I'm thinking of, a ray of light that comes and makes human life really worthwhile. You don't always find it, but when you do have it and you meet it and you realize it, you belong to it rather than it belonging to you.